Set. Gates have opened. Racing in Love with Paris didn't really get the best of the starts. Now Platoon and Royal Command are going to be back second last and last respectively, where Heartstarter flew out of the gates and has sailed straight to the lead through the first couple of hundred from Minus Looks and Arctic Stream. Cheston Flyers up running fourth. In Love with Paris, who was on a backward step at the start, is now around them very quickly, driving forward, and Platoon's going to follow him. They're followed by Double Digit. Back on the inside with a length, Tonka Tough, and 2 lengths behind them, Royal Command. Out by the 800 they go. Heartstarter now steadied up in front. In Love with Paris fired up there to get into second spot. A length away, Minus Looks, and again starts to ramp up the pace. Arctic Stream's enjoying a good run. Over a length behind them, Double Digit going through, joining Platoon, and Cheston Flyer kicks up as well there in the middle. Tonka Tough is second from last, and back on the inside, Royal Command in traffic as Heartstarter guides them to the home corner. At the 400, it's Heartstarter. A length and a half, Arctic Stream away from his heels now as In Love with Paris drops off. Down the outside, Minus Looks and Platoon. Double Digit cut the corner. It's Heartstarter at the 250 with Arctic Stream looming as the danger. Arctic Stream comes at Heartstarter. It's Heartstarter and Arctic Stream, and now Platoon. Here comes Platoon. Arctic Stream's in front, but look at Platoon. Platoon levels up, got the nose in front, bobbing finish. Platoon and Arctic Stream went to it locked together. Platoon the outside of Arctic Stream, and Heartstarter's behind them third with Royal Command from last. Rattling home late in the race ahead of Minus Looks and then Double Digit. Followed further back then on the outside to Tonka Tough and Cheston Flyer, and In Love with Paris compounded to finish a long last. Number 6 Platoon, ridden by Stephen Parnham, has cut them down to win in the shadows over Arctic Stream and Heartstarter. 2 wins from as many runs now this campaign for the Playing God 4-year-old Platoon. And again, tramping 3 deep. Got a ride home around them from about the 700, but took the length of the straight to cut Arctic Stream down first up. And back on the fence, Heartstarter. A solid performance, bounding to the lead, and there for a long way with Royal Command after being last. Certainly attacking the line with gusto late. It's ahead of Short Neck, the margins on 6, 7, 1 and 5. 6, 7, 1, 5 Platoon first for Nev and Carolyn Parnham, Colin Loxton, Steve Kilner, Sean Kenny, PJ Evans and IJ Tracy. By Playing God from Oriel, 4th win from 18, and has come back in great order for the Neville Parnham stable, ridden to victory by Stephen Parnham. Second home, Arctic Stream. First up by High Chaparral from Royal Devotion, owned by Frank and Josie Fiore. Troy Turner, the rider, for Ross Price. And back on the inside was Heartstarter, the Chris Gangemi train gelding, ridden by apprentice Harry Grace for Gangemi Thoroughbreds, and Madames Hassan and Wade, Gunning and DePrato, also Dakin and Yeek, Mercon Racing, and Arto, White, Fraser, Beverly and Gardner. Back there making up a lot of ground late was Royal Command, but honours with Platoon, 370, finished up jumping favourite on the WOP. Arctic Stream 750, Heartstarter $21. The next today, first of the Group 3s, the Hose Masters Asian Bow Stakes. Alan Kennedy rides number 7 in Lord Help Me Run. Let's get downstairs now. Here's Scotty Embry joining us in the yard, and he's got, I think it's Vince from down there at Neville Parnham's stable. Of course, they had a runner in Melbourne this afternoon as well, Scotty.
It's certainly not Vince. It's Steph Verhala, actually, who's representing the Neville Parnham yard. Steph, Platoon seems to just be getting better and better with racing.
Yeah, since his gelding and he came back, and then he obviously had that 3-year-old prep, and he's just taken it to another level now.
What did you think in the run? He got a fair way off them.
He got a fair way off him. It was a 10 out of 10 from Stevie. He got an awkward gate there, and he got cover round the back there, and then just got a cut up into the race. He was always going to catch him, but then they just kept kicking in front, so it got a bit scary there. But, yeah, thankfully his ability got him over the line.
On the Perth side, is he the best horse in the Neville Parnham stable at the moment?
I'm going to say yes. Definitely on ability at the minute, yes.
Would there be a chance he would go to a race like the RJ Peters or the Carbine to try and sneak into the railway?
Well, not my horse, but I would say the railway is definitely the aim because he is flying at the minute.
What about Stevie? Got pretty busy there. It's been a fair while since I've seen the Steve Parnham windmill.
Yeah, this is his favourite horse, and he wasn't getting beat today.
Well done, Steph.
All right, cheers. Thanks, Scott.
There's Steph Verhaala representing the Neville Parnham yard here. I'm thinking that maybe Neville might have been over watching Malibu Style today at Flemington on Derby Day. Stevie Parnham coming in now. He'll weigh in and have a chat to Michael Heaton. It's 6, 7, 1 and 5. 6 Platoon, the winner from 7 Arctic Stream. Another very good placing without winning. Number 1 Heart Starter gave some serious cheek out in front for apprentice Harry Grace, who's travelling at the moment and coming over to Western Australia to stay here for a little while. His 3 kilo claim looks like coming in handy for a lot of horses. Number 5 Royal Command from the back was a big drifter in the market and has run 4th. 6, 7, 1 and 5. The margin is ahead by a short neck in 1:25.37. 6 Platoon, he has won 2 from 2 this campaign. He looks destined for bigger and better races, possibly a Carbine, possibly an RJ Peters to try and get that ballot exemption and a late entry into the Railway Stakes. He's in that market. He'll get 4 points today, you would imagine. Michael Heaton, that was very impressive, and I'll let you catch up now with Stevie Parnham.
Super impressive from there, Platoon. Second up from a spell. We saw his electric turn of foot over the final furlong first up, and we saw that as well today, Stevie. You drew an awkward gate. It always looked to be a pretty tricky map today. How did the race unfold for you in the end?
Probably as good as I could have hoped, to be honest. Watching the races before mine, I decided that there was a distinct pattern that you sort of had to be in the first, at least the first half of the race, to be able to win. And originally I had planned on probably being second last in the run and tracking him up, but called Dad over in Melbourne and said, look, I think we need to reevaluate this. And he said, yep, I think we'll leave it with you. And he jumped well, sort of had a little bit of cover getting across early, and, you know, probably was in for a little bit and then out again, but he was too good.
Well, you definitely pulled the right rein there with the tactics. We saw his turn of foot late first up. His last final furlong is simply electric, especially off only a moderate tempo as well. When he gets a genuine speed, you expect him to even improve further?
Yeah, he definitely knows how to find the line, this horse. You know, he's really shown that in all his runs, that he can motor home the way he does. Probably a little bit further would probably be in his favour as well. 1400 off a slow tempo might have been a bit sharp for him, but class sort of arose there and he was able to get the job done.
And Stefan just saying that he's one of your favourite horses. We saw you get very busy over the concluding stages there.
He is, yeah. I ride him every day. He reminds me a lot of Playing God. Probably doesn't quite have the ability that he did, but there's a lot of similarities in personality and their looks. So from early days, I'd had a close sort of relationship with him and continued it here. So it's always special with a win on him.
Playing God certainly has stamped Platoon, that's for sure. What about the Railway? Is he a live hope down, do you think? If he gets in the race, that is?
Yeah, his rating's still a little bit low at the moment. He was also nominated for the Asian Bow today, but probably would have killed his rating had he won. But, you know, that's debatable because you've got a Regal Power and a few others in that race anyway. But he might go to the Peters now and roll the dice and see how he goes. But I'm sure if he can be prominent there, he's a chance. And getting him with the right way in the Railway, you never know.
Well, you pulled the right move today. All the best with Wrinkly in the Group 3 Asian Bow Stakes coming up.
Thank you. Cheers.